Hey guys, it's Kelly. Mari and I are back with another challenge. This week we are using a quote as our title, and of course Pinterest comes through to me again. I'll be honest with you, it took me a while to find one that I really liked, but once I did, I knew it was perfect. It was meant to be. I am going to be scrapbooking a picture of my daughter's new travel softball team. This team has been a godsend and a blessing. She is in love with all of these girls. They play together nicely. The coaches work well. If you have a child on travel sports, you know what I'm talking about. My husband went to a tournament with her, and he just said he had not seen her that happy playing in a very long time. And, you know, she looked like a different kid, and it doesn't matter that we have to drive her 45 minutes to practice twice a week. It is what it is, because this girl is loving what she's doing. She's even just like her whole sport has improved tremendously. She looks like a different athlete being as happy as she is. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, back to the layout. So the quote that I chose is, "To the world, we are just a team. To each other, we are a family." And that is exactly how my daughter feels about all of these girls. So I went and I created these two words myself. I am using the font Blackout Sunrise, and I just opened it up in my Silhouette software, and I just bounced the title up and down a wee bit and welded it together. So I just wanted to leave a little bit of this in so you could see how I chose my scraps. Romeo's saying hello. Of course, I can't sit down and do a voiceover without him coming over. So, and he's purring really loudly. So if you hear him, just know he's a very contented cat sitting in my lap right now. So I'm just taking these colors and I am backing them behind the letters. I chose this really pretty color peach from my scraps. I want you guys to know that I do listen and I do read the message boards. So when I see people saying that they want to see layouts made with scraps or older papers or your stash, you know, this is my response to it. This is my second layout using my scraps. I have a third coming up. I believe it's December 1st. Yes, it is for a layout for Stuck Sketches for their December 1st reveal. So I chose this peach because my daughter's team colors are cardinal red and black, and I don't have a cardinal red. So if you know of anything that could work, please let me know. The pieces of paper that I have in my stash that have that color are Christmas related and not really perfect for it. I'd like that for when I scrapbook some of her photos that she's in her uniform that's all black, because I think that would look nice. So if you know of anything, please let me know. So again, since the cardinal red is the main color here, I chose that peach because it looks nice with it. Gray and black and white, just to accent the photo without necessarily matching. The peach also works because the photo shows some of the softball, the clay on the field, and it just works like that, pulling in the colors. And so I don't necessarily have to match, but I do like colors to complement. So in just a minute, I'm going to come on and I'm going to explain what I did with the layout. I messed up with recording, so I wanted to show you what I could. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys what I did with this stitching. I got caught up and didn't realize that I wasn't recording when I started it, so I'm just bringing it back in so you can see. I wanted it to have the appearance of a softball. If you are familiar with softballs, they're bright yellow with red threads. There was no way I was going to put bright yellow on this page. So my original thought was either going to be white or gray, and the words that I backed have so much gray in them, they got lost on
the gray cardstock. So I stuck with white, and then I decided I would just do black stitching. So to get the stitching, I could have taken any like large platter or bowl or anything like that, and you know, like traced around it and then did it, you know, poked my holes. But I don't really have anything that was, I guess, big enough, nor that I wanted to go look for. So, and I could have done this on my silhouette, but I was lazy. So I just, on a spare piece of paper, took and I measured out with my ruler. And I didn't even have set measurements. I have now lost my ruler because my room is a disaster. Let's see, this one will work. So what I did is I picked about, you know, the center of the page, and I like marked, this is 1.5. And then I knew where I wanted my stitching to go off. And so what I did was I went down every inch in an increment. So however, it's too late for me to do math right now. 1/4 of an inch? Yeah, 1/4 of an inch. So so every inch I went down 1/4 of an inch, and then I kind of had just like some rough spots so that I could kind of guide it, and then I just basically joined the dots together. And the only thing that I would recommend if you do something like this is to erase before you stitch. I did not, and I'm gonna have to go back and do so because I've got some stray marks underneath my stitching. I was being lazy again, and I thought that my stitching would be thick enough and hide it, but it doesn't. So, but that's okay. So I just wanted to show you how I did that in case anyone was interested in doing this. So I'm going to put you on fast forward now, or actually wait, I wanted to show you, I've already pulled out some letters for the rest of my title, but I wanted you to see that this is not necessarily an easy process. I went through a bunch of different letter stickers before ultimately deciding on these two. I went and I rated my December daily stash. I tried some of the different basic gray. I pulled in some of my little Teresa Collins, the tiles. I did not pull out my October afternoon because those are more cream based. So just so you know, when making the title, it did take me several different letter stickers before I could find the combination that I liked. So at this point, I'm going to put...
Okay, so at this point, what I am doing is I am going to just play with the way that the title is going to lay around the photo. Because everything is quite large, it doesn't leave a lot of room to embellish or to add other pattern papers. Not that I'd really want to add a whole lot, because there are several patterns behind the letters of the title. So I decided that what I wanted to do for the photo is I'm going to mount it on a piece of white cardstock and then mount it on this black and white paper. I'm not sure where all of my papers are from. I know that the cursive alpha, or the cursive letters in the F letter for family, that's an LE Studio. I know that both of the peach papers are from Studio Calico, and the open dot and the Y is also a Studio Calico paper. I just, like I said, had gone through my scraps to pull out things that I thought would work, and I tried to keep this pretty neutral with just that pop of that peach, since that was a color that complemented the photo. So again, this also goes to show that when you do a sports page, you don't necessarily have to use theme-based products. I struggle very much so with using theme-based products, unless it's maybe, you know, like beach things for beach photos or some Christmas photos, you know, and using Christmas theme papers. Otherwise, I really struggle. It's not, you know, like if I'm going to have a graduation photo, I'm not necessarily going to use graduation ephemera or embellishments, just because for me, it just makes it more difficult. And I know for some people it makes it easier, and that is wonderful and good for you, and use whatever it takes to get your layout created and for you to have fun with it. So I'm just taking some different pieces of my craft foam and I am adhering them down. I have a bunch of these little pieces that have been sitting on in a little container on my desk. So you will see me, and I think I do cut out some of it when I go to do the word team. Just because it's boring to watch, but I am trying to get a lot of these little pieces used just to get them off my desk, and having a big title like this to pop up makes it easier to get some of those pieces. I'm just using my ATG tape to adhere it to the back. I know some people have trouble with it, but I don't. I don't know if it's just the amount of pressure that I use to adhere it. It just, to me, it works well. But I did find a small pack of adhesive backed foam at Walmart. I didn't find a big one, but a small one. So I am going to play with that and see if I like that better. So at this point, I really love the way that the layout is looking, but I'm struggling because I want to add something. You know, I'd like to add little bits and little pieces. And, you know, when I put on some of the sequins, I don't like them. I don't like the way that it's looking. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to get ready to cut some of this out, but I'm just going to finish backing the words with the craft foam so that I can pop it up. And I'm not sure what happened. Fortunately, I caught this before it went pretty far. I just cut a couple of pattern strips of paper and added some silver washi tape to back behind my photo. And like I said, at least I caught it before I got too far on the layout. Again, all of these papers are scraps that I'm using, and I cut it in half because it was too long and I wanted to overlap the two. And so I'm just using the back of it to line it up and get it straight. I just wanted something to make the photo, make that I guess pop off the layout just a little bit more. I didn't want to use craft foam since I had stuck up the, you know, parts of the quote, but I wanted to add a little bit more emphasis onto the photo without really adding anything. I don't know if that makes sense, but by adding very neutral papers that read as solids, I think that it worked. One of them is a soft gray and white polka dot, and the other one is the peach paper that I used in one of the letters. And I felt like that helped to make the photo more prominent without really adding a lot more to the layout. Like I said, I struggled with trying to find embellishments, and for me, embellishment wise, this layout doesn't have a lot. It has the stitching and it has the silver washi tape, and that's it. And that's what I said, you know, that's what I meant when I said it's a little bit of a different layout for me, because I like to put little sequins or little enamel dots, little things to finish off my page. And this doesn't really have it. But I think that the title is so, you know, so much the main focus on the page that it works. So I will not lie, it probably took me about 10 to 15 minutes to put this title down. So I do cut out quite a bit of it. I do take my T-square ruler and I use that to help me line up the title. And that's it for me today. I've got some close-ups at the end, and I'm going to link up Mari's channel in the description below. So be sure and check out her channel and see what she created using a title as a quote. And as always, we would love for you to play along. You know, we do these challenges to try to think outside of the box, or to challenge each other to do something maybe that's not quite in our comfort zone, or something that's different, because you know, the more you challenge yourself, I think the more creatively you grow. So anyway, I'll see you soon, guys. Take care and have a great day. Bye.